Something within my heart just said, you have to be there for this man. You know, he has no one there.
An extremely large turnout for a veteran in Jessamine County that many who came to the service said they did not even know the man being laid to rest.
Richmond city leaders are considering an ordinance that could punish landlords for the actions of their tenants.
What's left of a Laurel County restaurant scheduled to be torn down tonight. What the owners have to say about the building that stood for decades in downtown London.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
A huge show of respect as hundreds of people filled Camp Nelson National Cemetery today to pay their respects to a veteran. Don Koss of Mercer County died last month, but the sailor, who was in the Vietnam War, did not have any family to claim him.
As Phil Pendleton shows us, a Garrett County funeral home stepped in to make sure the veteran received a proper farewell. Phil's in Jessamine County with our top story at 5:30.
Some rode, some walked, some stood in bunches, others came alone. But all of them were united in purpose for why they came to a service for a man they didn't know.
Something within my heart just said, you have to be there for this man. You know, he has no one there.
Linda M. Brown of Lexington didn't know Don Koss, a sailor who served his country on submarines during Vietnam. Facts shared by most of the hundreds who came to Camp Nelson for the 11 o'clock service on Thursday.
This was by far the biggest turnout that I have ever seen for a military funeral anywhere.
Staff Sergeant Benjamin Garnett heard about the vet's sad story and drove all the way from Fort Knox just to play taps.
It was astonishing. It was fantastic.
Don Koss died July 29th, yet no one could find family to claim his body. He might have died alone, but that can't be said for what happened during his final farewell.
It's a tribute to a great man, and the world needs to see more of this.
While no relatives were found before his service, the Ramsey Young Funeral Home staff says they will keep on looking in hopes of one day sharing all of this with them. In Jessamine County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Friends of Koss tell us he was a very humble and quiet man who went to church and kept a low profile.
It's a system that could penalize landlords for their tenants' actions. City leaders in Richmond are discussing a new ordinance that would fine or could fine landlords up to $500 if their tenants don't follow the rules. This comes after the city received several noise and parking complaints from people living in the area. Our Sam Smith is in Richmond talking to a landlord and the mayor about the proposal. It's a story that's new at 5:30.
Yeah, the ordinance that said a landlord would be punished if their tenant had 3 nuisance violations in the span of 6 months is now being reviewed. A version of that ordinance had its first reading this week. A vote only takes place after the second reading. City officials pulled that ordinance for further revisions. But Mayor Jim Barnes says the newest version will include a fine up to $500 and a misdemeanor charge for landlords with tenants with noise, trash, or parking violations, for example.
If they got fined, it means they didn't do anything. You know, all we're asking them to do is, if there's an issue and with your tenants, you need to take care of it. And most of them do.
And I'm dead set against me having a misdemeanor or anyone having a misdemeanor for someone else's actions.
With the measure still under review, landlords like Rodney Kane hope the penalties are weakened.
And I think, and I do believe, that we will get it right.
You as a property owner have to be responsible for your property. Anybody. You break a window, you have to fix it.
The new first reading for this public nuisance ordinance is set for September 8th at 6 o'clock. In Richmond, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Mayor Barnes says the city has received noise, trash, and parking complaints from homeowners who live next to the rental properties.
Police in southern Kentucky are now investigating a deadly fire as a murder. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Clay County. Investigators found 68-year-old Lawrence Sizemore's body inside a burned home on Highway 577 last month. Firefighters say Sizemore's nephew pushed in the door to the home and tried to drag his uncle out. Right now, state police are not releasing any details about the investigation. In Laurel County, Crime Stoppers is now offering a $500 reward for information leading to an arrest in a burglary. Police say someone stole several items from the Heritage Hills Genealogy Center Museum last month. They say the thieves also damaged the museum. Anyone with information is asked to call the London Crime Stoppers tip line at 606-878-7004 or London Police. Also in Laurel County, what's left of a popular restaurant damaged by fire is scheduled to be torn down tonight. For decades, Weaver's Hot Dogs was at the corner of 5th and Main Streets in London. But city leaders say the remaining structure is a danger to the community. Right now, the restaurant has a temporary location just a few blocks away. The store's owners hope to recreate some of the memories in the old building, including a wall covered with photos.
The wall was completely covered with photos of people that had passed away and people that we remembered from our childhood, and it was just so sad to know that all those photos are burned as well.
He had given pictures to a historic society here in London. They made copies of all the pictures, and since they had copied them, we have them preserved on disc, so we will be able to reprint those pictures and get them back up on the walls.
The business has a temporary location at the London Corbin Airport.
It has been another picture-perfect day in the Bluegrass. Plenty of sunshine out there and temperatures in the low 80s, and we're expecting that to continue at least for a little bit. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at what's been kind of a fall forecast, especially at night in the early mornings, Jim.
Oh, yeah, it's felt wonderful out there. We've had 50s at night. Today, we're only in the 80s, and we've been mainly on the dry side here lately. And that's kind of the focus of the forecast. We've got rain chances that you're going to see in our 7-day. But they're very small chances. So it's a mainly dry couple of days coming your way with more of these pleasant temperatures hanging around. And you can even see across Kentucky at the moment. We're in the upper 70s in Corbin. The rest of us, Frankfort, Richmond, and into Lexington, low 80s. And you can see a very similar scene. A little bit of cloud cover, a lot of blue skies and sunshine coming in for most folks out there. We look now at Defender, and we are tracking a whole lot of nothing as far as rain is concerned. Now, this could change tomorrow, especially for our friends in southern and eastern parts of Kentucky. We might run into some better chances of some showers, maybe even a stray thunder shower or two. Again, the chances aren't off the charts, but we will at least be tracking that in those areas. So let's break it down over the next 24 hours. We'll start our clock at 8 tonight. Around 77, a mix of sun and clouds. As we head toward 11, we're in the upper 60s with some mid-60s as well trying to filter in. Pretty nice feel overall. And then tomorrow, that small chance of rain creeps back into the area. But temperatures stay very comfortable. We'll take a closer look at what they look like beyond that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jim. And this beautiful weather made it a great day for the first industrial hemp tour at UK. Researchers showed off different varieties of the plant, and hemp experts answered questions. People on the tour learned the differences between fiber production and grain production. During the walking tour, experts showed off 2 research projects at each stop.
I want to take away the knowledge that we've gained so far in this growing season. Granted, it's limited because we planted very late relative to optimal, but we still have some good information to pass on to the public, and that's what I hope they'll take away.
15 different varieties of the plant were on display today. Some good news for UK students. Dunkin' Donuts is headed to campus. The restaurant will be located inside Kennedy Bookstore on South Limestone. Dunkin' Donuts franchise co-owner and former UK All-American Jamal Mashburn announced the grand opening today. Several former UK basketball stars will make an appearance at the grand opening. Walter McCarty, Tony Delk, and Ron Mercer will all be there Monday morning at 9. The new location will offer the full menu of beverages and signature donuts.
With thousands of school children walking to school or perhaps waiting for school buses, this is a great time for drivers to be extra watchful and careful. Our good question today, what is the most common mistake that drivers make when it comes to accidents with school children? I asked the good folks at AAA to help answer this for us tonight. Lilla Mason says that we need to remember that children are not small adults. They don't have a good sense of danger, have short attention spans, so they're not really patient. Also, their eyesight and hearing are not fully developed. And that means they don't pick up the warning signals of traffic as well as an adult, like a honking horn. Children also react quickly without thinking. They're more prone to chase a ball into the street or run between parked cars into the road. Mason of AAA says most child pedestrian accidents are dart outs. That's where a child darts out into the street regardless of traffic or the danger. So as a driver, you must assume children are completely unpredictable. So slow down, be patient, and watch for the unexpected. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.